We saw very, very similar builds between UUV and Firebat Hero in their first match, where UUV went for the early command center, Firebat Hero went for the 2 factories with 2 machine shops, and Firebat Hero was able to pressure UUV early on, and UUV held and went on to win the game. So Nada's command center is going to give him an advantage in economic terms if he can hold off. The fact that he's put that machine shop up beforehand is very, very clever, because it means that he has got a siege tank up, and he is going to be able to use that tank to help him defend his main. And DarkElf at the moment doesn't have any idea that Nada is going for that command center, because DarkElf has not had that scouting information. And DarkElf now just pushing it at Nada. Nada forced back inside his choke, inside his natural. DarkElf is pushing ahead, and he is going to be able to scout the command center. But Nada already has 2 siege tanks up. DarkElf, even though he's gone for the 2 fact build, has got a longer supply route, and he's going to be able to get in. And DarkElf has actually got fast vultures, so that is very critical. DarkElf, I'm sorry, my mobile phone is going off. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. My mobile phone went off there. And Nada actually holding by virtue of those SCVs blocking off his ramp with that siege tank. DarkElf planting more spider mines at Nada's ramp, and Nada has lost his tank yet again. Nada's lost another tank, and DarkElf is just mining that area, and he's going to actually stop Nada from getting that command center down while he puts up his machine shop. That's very, very clever by DarkElf. You very rarely see Terran players go for spider mines versus other Terran players, but obviously DarkElf has gone for this at this stage, and that is going to work to his advantage. This is one of the differences that we've seen between this game, between these 2 players versus the game between UUV and Firebat Hero. And Nada is really going to be constricted here. He has gone for that early command center, and he's not going to be able to reap the benefit of it. And brilliant, absolutely brilliant micro by Nada, inching that tank forward and taking out those 2 spider mines down the bottom of the ramp. That was absolutely brilliant by Nada. He needs to get these spider mines down as soon as possible so he can get that command center in and start reaping the harvest of that early command center, because right now he's invested those resources in that command center, and he is yet unable to get any benefit from it. And one of the things, and already DarkElf has siege mode with his tank, and he's actually got his tank sieged at Nada's ramp, and UUV taking some damage from the spider mine there, but he's going to be able to put that command center down, and he's going to be able to set up a defense. Looks like DarkElf is just setting up a contain here outside UUV's main, and DarkElf has got those 2 command centers with 2 machine shops, and if he is able to set up a contain successfully, sorry, not UUV, Nada's main, sorry, I keep calling him UUV, Nada's main, and if DarkElf is able to set up that contain, Nada is going to find himself in a world of trouble, and DarkElf from those 2 factories is pumping units out, and that maneuver by DarkElf, that decision by DarkElf to go for those spider mines is proving to be absolutely key here, because that is what has slowed Nada down, that is what has done damage to Nada early in the game, and Nada now finds himself in significant trouble, and DarkElf is closing in the noose. He's got the rope wrapped around Nada's neck, and he is now tightening that rope. He's put his barracks down, he's completely walled up that choke, and he's got his tanks up in siege mode. Nada, I'm not sure what Nada can do to break this, because DarkElf so far is ahead, and Nada not trying to break out of this. He's running through with those vultures. He's going to try and plant spider mines around those tanks to try and take them down. He does manage to get one of the spider mines off. One of them goes off. The spider mine goes off. A lot of the tanks get taken out. Nada being forced to fight with his SCVs, and he also brings his tanks out, but his tank gets taken out. DarkElf holds the choke. DarkElf holds the choke, and this has to be, I have to say, the end of the game for Nada. DarkElf holds the choke. He's going to have reinforcements pouring through pretty soon. He's got Nada forced to retreat his science vessels. The only thing still working in Nada's favor at this point in time is the fact that he has got those 2 command centers pumping SCVs, so even though he has lost a few SCVs and he's losing SCVs, he can kind of keep up in terms of SCV output to try and stay in this game. But Nada now only has vultures. DarkElf has got vultures, and he's got siege tanks positioned outside his base, and DarkElf's reinforcements are going to be arriving very, very shortly, and Nada is forced to lift up that command center. So any advantage Nada hoped to have had from that early command center has been wiped out. DarkElf, I believe, has set up an expansion of his own at his natural, and he is now going to be the one with the economic advantage in the game, and I see this as being very difficult for Nada to progress. I think the key point has to be DarkElf's spider mines. The fact that DarkElf went for spider mines, and he made excellent use for those vultures to take Nada's ramp and to take Nada. And Nada is going to try once again to try and break out of this. He's going to just go. He knows that there's spider mines there, which is why he's going for primarily vultures. DarkElf does have a siege tank and that bunker, and if Nada can get a few spider mines down and take down that tank and allow those spider mines to blow up, that might be very key. DarkElf, brilliant micro by DarkElf, absolutely brilliant micro. He killed those spider mines as they were planted, and DarkElf showing some amazing micro. Nada went with about 6 or 7 vultures, but DarkElf with brilliant, absolutely brilliant micro took out the spider mines as they were planted, and now he's in Nada's main, and you have to feel that this is now an unwinnable game for Nada. DarkElf has got spider mines around Nada's factories. Any siege tanks that pop out that pops out is going to get eliminated. DarkElf has got 4 factories, Nada still on 2. DarkElf has got the expansion, Nada has nothing, and that has to be GG. And once again, Nada loses without playing badly. Nada did not play badly. I think his choice of strategy was the right one. I guess the fact that he went for siege tanks early on, that was also a good decision. Nada has got raids up though, but I don't think he's going to be able to inflict significant damage with his raids. Nada does have very much a never say die attitude. He refuses to give up until the very last second, but he is just too far behind now in this game to come back. And DarkElf has his siege tank up, and he's got too many vultures. He's got too many factories, and unfortunately, Nada losing another game. He's already out of the Star League, so I guess it's not going to matter. But it's gonna dent his confidence. This is like the 3rd or 4th game in a row that Nada has lost now, and that's got to be painful for the old school warrior to bear. Well played by DarkElf. I was very impressed by him in that game versus Hwayse, that he did unfortunately lose on Hitchhiker. I was very impressed by his play, and I am generally impressed. He is a player who does seem to innovate and who does have innovative strategies. That move by him going for the early spider mines instead of going for siege tech was a stroke of genius. That is what allowed him to contain Nada, to set up a contain, and when the spider mines were finished, by the time Nada actually got his own tanks out, got his force down the ramp, DarkElf had a contain set up with the siege tank sieged outside Nada's natural. So well played by DarkElf. GG. Unfortunate for Nada. It was still a very entertaining game to watch, and unfortunately Nada lost, and I'm sad to see that. Hopefully he can bounce back. I do think that now that he has more time to practice and he'll be able to focus in the Pro League, we will see the best of Nada again.
물론 뭐 8강 진출력과 달린 것도 아니겠습니다. 그런데 이윤열이 제대로 해보지 못하고 무너졌어요.
네, 하지만 어쨌든 두 선수 조금 재미가 없을 수도 있는 그런 경기, 맥이 빠지는 경기일 수도 있었겠습니다만 재밌는 경기로 보답을 했습니다.
중앙부터 물건의 빌드가 나눠지는 그 순간부터 계속되는 교전. 결국 진단기가 자신이 출전한 스타리그 첫 출전한 대회인 이 다음 스타리그에서 8강은 못 갔어도 그래도 첫째 기쁨까지는 누리고 다음 대회를 준비하게 되네요.
그렇죠. 예, 한 발씩 성큼은 안 되더라도 야금야금이라도 선수가 계속 전진을 해야죠.
네, 로엘로도 아니면 어떻습니까? 다음번에 우승하면 되는 거예요.